Oh yeah, man, getting wet. It happens, but I'm gonna tell you, this is my fault. Completely my fault, right? This morning, I was actually got up and I actually looked at the weather and I noticed that it was gonna rain. And I said to myself, here in the Sunshine State, it's so difficult to guess this because there have been so many times that I see like 50%, 60%, and I don't ride. And next thing you know, it doesn't rain at all. And I'm getting really mad about it. And in fact, my friend Nick, he doesn't even care. Like the dude doesn't care. He rides every day. Sometimes he doesn't even look at the weather. He just doesn't care. And a lot of times when I make it to work, he always kind of, make fun of me a little bit, right? Like playing around, kind of like, hey, you know what? Who cares? If it rains, I get wet. It is what it is. And again, sometimes it's like time to go home and it's not raining and it's kind of always like I told you so. And sometimes it is raining and he gets wet or I get wet going to work. The same thing with Randy, my friend Randy. Sometimes, it's raining right now. He's in a motorcycle as well, going home probably about right now, and he's probably getting wet as well, right? So it is what it is. Sometimes it happens, nothing you can do about it. But this morning, I was actually like, oh man, I'm going to take my truck. And then I was like, nah, I'm going to ride my bike. And this is what I get out of that. Getting wet, it is what it is. But check it out. I wanted to talk about this before I get into it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post videos like this. I like doing these vlogs a lot. I enjoy them. I have a blast doing it, and I hope you guys enjoying it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below as usual. But as I'm getting older in life, I started to realize how it's so important to work when you're young and, not to waste your time in dumb jobs. And I'm going to tell you, I joined the Marine Corps at the age of 20. I spent my majority of my 20s and some of my 30s in the Marine Corps, and I had a great time. I loved it. I love being a Marine. I love being an active duty Marine, and it was just such a fantastic time. I had my hard times. I went to combat several times, and I found myself a couple times in some really bad predicaments, and I found myself in a situation a couple times that it is what it is. But nevertheless, I love being a Marine. It was a great time. But I'm going to tell you, it kind of paid off. It really did. I was able to get out of the military, and now I have a decent job and all that stuff. But my point to this is that a lot of times we waste our time. And I'm just saying this, don't waste your time when you're in your 20s, because what I figure out now that, I'm 39 years old, I'm almost 40 years old, and I don't know, 40 is kind of scary, right? Because after 40, the next thing is 50, and once you hit 50, you old. That's it. There's no more, oh, no, you're just old, right? I don't mean to offend anybody. I love everybody out there. Getting old is a blessing from the Lord and all that. But I feel that my 40s is kind of like my last push, right? I got to do what I got to do. I got to make the money I got to make. I got to help my family in the best way possible. I don't know why this turn here creeped me out a little bit. But again, I got to do what I got to do. But I figure out that when you're in your 20s and when you put towards your job, whatever it is, it helps out so much. You don't want to start over in your 30s. You definitely don't want to start over in your 40s. You definitely not. And then life is so difficult. Life is difficult many times. So when you prepare yourself in your 20s, it's going to pay off when you get older. And I gave you an example as a military man, but not even that. I'm talking like, let's give you a plain sample. When I was 16, I was working on Winn-Dixie, right? Winn-Dixie, if you don't know, is a supermarket. Well, now that I'm 39, I could have been working there 20 plus years, right? By this point, I would have been, probably a store manager, or maybe, a manager or something, probably making decent money. So again, what's the point of me jumping around in jobs, like going to this job, going to that job? To me, that's a waste of time. We need to stay consistent to a job so we could get the best that we can out of that job. So to me, it's simple. Find a job out there that you think you could do well. Find a job out there that you think you could do really, really good and it has a future, and stay in that job. Work hard. Dedicate yourself. Commit yourself to the job, and it's going to pay off. Again, there's always exceptions to the rules. Obviously, guy, generally speaking, it's going to pay off. There's always issues and stuff like that. But nevertheless, I think it's my opinion that if you stick to it and if you work hard, it's going to pay off. And at the end of the day, when you're in your late 40s, in your 50s, you'll be able to collect. You'll be able to collect everything that you work hard for. I see a lot of guys nowadays that a lot of times they get jealous, or they talk things sometimes that they don't even know, or they make comments. And, you always hear comments. I had it from a bunch of family members, oh, it must be nice. I'm thinking to myself, what is nice? Really, what it must be nice is? I don't even understand it must be nice, because when I was in my 20s, there I am in Iraq, in Afghanistan, working hard, being in different countries, at some point under enemy fire or on the enemy attack, and you guys were home, not doing anything, getting drunk, having a great time, partying like a rock star, and all that stuff. And then, you come down, you're like, oh, it must be nice. And I'm like, really? What were you doing in your 20s? Oh, wait. Let me think about it. You were getting drunk, doing drugs, partying like a rock star. But then you expect something, and then if somebody work hard, it's like, oh, it must be nice, right? It must be nice that you can do this, or you got this job, or you got that. And to me, I don't want to, by no means I'm trying to judge the lifestyle. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I believe in freedom. I believe you do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to get in your life, Again, this is not for me to question you. And again, this is a conversation that I had with some family members. But don't come to me later on and attack me and tell me A, B, and C, because I could pay a mortgage for my families. It just doesn't even make sense. And it's not like I live, the best rich life or anything like that. I think I live a pretty decent life that any hardworking American can do as well. I don't live like I'm not driving a Corvette in my driveway, right? I bought a 2005 Road King. The reason why I didn't buy a 2020 or 2020 Road King is because I couldn't afford the payment. So I got a 2005 because I can afford the payment, right? So again, some of these people tells me things like, oh, it must be nice. And I'm thinking to myself, we need to work hard, right? If you're in your 20s, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in your 20s, I will encourage you to work hard, to find a good job that has a good future, and just work hard, to dedicate yourself, to put 110%, to show up early to work, to improve yourself, to take the classes that you're going to need to take, to be a better worker, to not be calling out every day out of work because A, B, and C, to dedicate yourself. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to work. Anyways, I wanted to get that out of my chest. Appreciate your support. Let me know what you think. And as always, God is in control.